Mike Ryan has that look in his eye for wherever it is that you get your Mount Rushmore fixes. For some reason, I think all of us, I think everybody here, this might be the new 80s or 90s baseball, what that was once upon a time, where we all like doing Mount Rushmores around here. I think everybody likes doing Mount Rushmores. But happier than Mike Ryan today. I saw it as a streak across Jessica's eyes because being in the chat when the chat is competing to be clever at my expense is one of the funniest places to exist in the history of our show, where the creative community is enjoying being creative, mocking me. I miss that community. I feel like Jessica got, if not introduced to it, I saw it on her face as she was watching them be clever. And I've been disappointed that those people haven't come over and helped our sponsor Boost Mobile when it comes to telephone calls, that those people have been better in the shadows, not performing, just sort of being anonymous and being in a YouTube chat. And it's easier to be clever there than when it is you have to perform. These callers have been disappointing to me, Chris Cody. I have found that that Boost Mobile has not got its money's worth sponsoring this segment as we've asked for better and better takes with a phone number that has been purchased and has Gotz's name on it. Why are you shaking your head no?
Because I couldn't disagree more. I thought the last montage we did of callers had multiple funny hot takes on it. We have another one here. It's almost 2 minutes long, and I feel really good about it. And it's presented by Boost Mobile, the boldest take from the weekend, and it's the newest 5G network in the country, Dan, so get it together.
And they're definitely getting their money's worth. Co-founder Dan Le Batard. And, you know, I got to say, my notes with the last segment that we did is for you. I feel like you were just so defeated that you just assumed that it was going to be a bad segment, and the last one was really good. I think we turned the ship around.
Fatty Beniers.
So let's get to our latest montage of callers giving their boldest take.
Greg, Billy was giving you good material there, and you were just giggling at it, it seemed like.
No falsehoods. I was talking to the directors.
That's a fine.
Good thing we stopped there. All right, let's play this montage of the boldest takes.
Ben Simmons crawled so Cooper Flag can fly.
Hey, Dan Brock on a mobile. I got a hot take for you. It's about snow. I hate snow. I can't stand the stuff. It's the worst. Everybody likes to romanticize snow. It's so beautiful. It's so fluffy. It's so pretty. It's overrated.
Hey, this is Pat from Long Beach, New York, and my hot take is that ketchup packets have the most useless amount of ketchup. Thank you.
Hey, y'all. Jaybird from Cleveland. First time, long time. Here, I got a hot take for you. Nolan Ryan, in today's day and age, on a decent staff, a 3-starter. I'll hang up and listen.
I don't think jelly beans should exist.
Hey, y'all. Here's my limited fake of Steve from Sex and the City.
Miranda?
Hey, Danny. This is Benny from Baltimore. My take is that yellow mustard should be banned. It's not a pro-ketchup take. It's not a pro-mayo take. It's not even an anti-mustard take. This is a pro-spicy brown take. Whatever you put mustard on, pretzels, burgers, dog, salad dressing, whatever it is, spicy brown is better than yellow.
Hey, Dan. It's Michael on a mobile. Will Chamberlain never scored 100 points. There'd be video of it. Come on, you can't tell me that in 1962 there was no video of this thing happening. We're all supposed to believe it? No chance. He didn't do it.
Hey, this is Mike. Been listening for like 15 years. Dan, I'm amazed sometimes how you can't put 2 and 2 together for what a smart man you are. You're talking about Belichick's girlfriend getting onto the commercial, and no other manager's ever done that. Have you looked at the weight? Have you looked at how they look? Her man, and I'm blowing this. I'm going to call again and try to get it in one take. Sorry, guys.
I love that guy. He was cooking.
Yeah.
He was cooking.
Steve from Sex and the City.
Miranda?
That was amazing. What an amazing impersonation that was. That's one of the best limited fakes I've ever heard. 305-486-GOTZ is the telephone number, GOTZ. Also, video, I think you revealed something earlier in what it is that we're doing that you weren't supposed to reveal, so go ahead and just put that out there now. It was during a commercial break. We have now revealed that this is a domino tournament, but Poppy is going to destroy an NFL legend. We want you to save the date, April 13th. We are going to make that a very limited thing, and it's going to be a very good party. So just make sure to save the date, and we'll have more announcements in the coming days.
Miranda?
Miranda?
Yes.
I mean,
I don't like Steve.
I agree. Jelly beans shouldn't exist.
I feel
love
bad
jelly
for Steve.
beans.
I feel bad for
I
Steve.
do too.
Like in the reboot,
But I don't like
Steve-
any of them.
Yeah.
We're not talking reboot. Not canon.
Miranda?
People did seem to like Steve as the guy who always got run over, and you're probably in the minority on not liking him, right?
Miranda?
No, like, come on, Steve, you got a good thing. Like, what's going on here? But then in the reboot, which is apparently not canon, like, she's putting poor
You just
Steve
feel
through the
bad.
ringer.
It's like, oh, my wife left me because I'm deaf now. Like that's tough.
He's just aging.
It's awful.
Yeah, aging.
Not canon.
Miranda?
Money grab.
Greg Cody has a take that I have not heard a lot of, as I have seen football explode and any kind of football content to be something somehow that never gets old, that people cannot get enough of. Oh, Deebo Samuel was traded over the weekend. Give me football information wherever it is that you have it. Greg Cody is down on the NFL Combine. He says it's unnecessary.
Right. I thought it was interesting what Cam Ward said in explaining why he wasn't going to throw at the NFL Combine. And he basically said, y'all got 5 years of tape on me throwing. That should be enough. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. He's not wrong. I think it's a couple of weeks of content for the media. I don't think fans particularly care to see whether somebody ran a 4.37 or a
You can't say
4.4.
that. I don't think you can say that. I believe they've turned this into an event like they turn everything into an event. You may say this, and old media may say it. I think that, look, I don't know if it's got millions and millions of people watching it, but it's got plenty of hundreds of thousands of people who are super interested. And so you might not have interest, but you do not speak for the pocket of people they're feeding here.
I would ask Mina Kimes this question and be interested in her answer, because I think that NFL front offices and scouting departments would be just fine without a combine. I think if all of a sudden the NFL said, nope, we're going to save millions of dollars, no more annual combine in Indianapolis, the draft goes on as scheduled, everybody's fine because everybody's had years to scout these people. Everybody has them at their private visits to interview in person. You don't need the combine.
Yeah, but like the intermingling aspect, the whispers at the bar after the workouts, it's like a real event for movers and shakers, Greg.
Yeah.
Is it beneficial more so for like smaller school players or lesser known players that get invited? Yes. Do the top names need to throw? No, they don't really need to do that. That's kind of been the case for a while now.
Yeah, but the smaller school players are known, right? I mean, nobody, the Division III player is going to be drafted if he's good enough. People know,
because of processes like this, like they probably won't be throwing a pro day at that school. They probably don't have the resources, and a front office may not allocate those resources to go scout a D3 player. I do see the benefit of it, but I don't know enough about it, nor do I care enough about it. But I do see the clips that happen out of there, and Will Howard seemed to have had a nightmarish workout. I saw the supercut that they put together, and so it can hurt you.
But
you don't want that out
but
there.
it also might not mean anything. That's where I agree with Greg. Like, if you have an outlier performance, either good or bad, it may matter more than it should versus years of tape. But it is, I'm sure that many scouts would argue that it's good to have all of those metrics and statistics equally measured at one place by the same people to compare and contrast. But yeah, like at the end of the day, how much influence should it really have versus what it's worth?
Right.
Probably depends.
Jalen Milroe's hands grew.
Yeah.
Thank you, Combine.
Imagine you're a scout for one of the NFL teams, and before the combine, you're like, guys, I'm telling you, Will Howard's the guy. I'm telling you, he's the one. No one's talking about it. He's the one. Then he performs like that.
And now you get him as a UDFA.
You have to like go back to that meeting and be like, I'm telling you guys. Do you think that guy today is like, all right, I was wrong? Or he's like, I'm telling you, it was just a bad day. He had a migraine.
And so you think his entire draft stock flips because of a bad
I don't know.
combine
I mean,
performance.
like I just said, I think it's definitely if someone was fighting for Will Howard, they now have to go to that meeting today and be like,
do I really go to the mat again
right,
for this guy?
am I going to lose my job over my take on Will Howard?
You're asking the important questions.
But then they show the tape of Will Howard in an actual game against an actual good opponent kicking ass.
That's why I think if you're
What
that
counts
scout,
more?
you got to just stay strong. You can't let one combine ruin it. You know what? I'm a Will Howard guy.
Well, the thing, though, that I have seen happening that is amazing to watch football as a content factory. And they've created another weekend for people to get together and make some television out of it and have some parties at St. Elmo's and turn it into a bit of an annual event. But Billy Gill doesn't want to travel down the common sports media paths. He goes out to FIU baseball. He goes out to corn dog contests. Billy Gill is not interested in your big popular things that everyone seems to like.
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, the corn dog contest. The corn dog.
Well, I didn't know it was going to. I did get a heads up that there would be a corn dog eating contest at the event, but that's not the event that I was going to. It was a satellite corn dog eating contest where the winner now gets to participate in the Miami-Dade County Fair corn dog eating contest. But what am I going to do? Walk away and not watch a corn dog eating contest when one takes place?
Ooh, a Challengers spin-off movie, but it's two people competing in the corn dog eating Challenger contest.
This corn dog eating contest was fierce. They had a ringer come in, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Was Zendaya there?
What?
What?
No. What? No. So the corn dog eating contest, it was there was a ringer there that obviously had been doing this before, and then they just ask anyone want to be a challenger, you can come and eat corn dogs. This guy ate 6 corn dogs in a minute. Whoa. It was 6 corn dogs. He ate them in a minute.
Ew.
It was going to be whoever's eating the most in the 2-minute time
What was
frame,
his
and he ate
technique?
them all.
Did he eat around the stick, or did he put the stick in his mouth and then pull the stick out?
Yeah, you pull the stick out.
Like a cartoon cat eating a fish?
Yeah. And then there was a wrestler, Domino, who was the, obviously, wrestler Domino was the judge of the corn dog eating contest. This all happened as it does as my secret society burger club that I'm a part of. We were having our, monthly meeting at my secret burger society, and then there was a corn dog eating contest at the secret society being judged by Domino, local wrestler, fan of the show. Lovely. Domino, lovely.
Love
Domino's
Domino.
girlfriend, very lovely people. Loved meeting them. They're big fans of everyone here.
Yeah, both fans of the show.
You can see Domino wrestle the first Saturday of every month at the Tank, I'm told. And Tripping Animals, I think the third Saturday of every month.
That's incredible by you.
Yeah, I got into it with Domino. I'm trying to find the time to make myself available to go see Domino wrestle.
Where was this event?
Maybe involve myself in a match. Who's to say? I haven't spoken to Domino about that.
Whoa.
We'll see what happens.
Where was this?
This was actually at the grand opening of a restaurant that's coming out. That's why the burger meeting was there. We were tasting the burgers and the chicken tenders that they have, and they also have like homemade ice cream sandwiches. It was delicious, all of it.
I want to
Great.
be in a secret burger society.
It's hard to get into. You have
think-
to subscribe to
think
Burger Beast Patreon.
Domino will be at our Domino tournament, maybe.
Is that who your dad's fighting? No, it's an NFL legend.
Yeah,
It's an NFL legend.
Your dad is fighting this NFL legend.
He's
yes?
going to destroy this NFL legend.
in a fist
In a
fight
fight.
to the death.
I'm going to just say he's going to destroy this NFL legend, and you'll have to wait for more information on this subject. Is Domino indeed coming to our Domino tournament?
Is this the invite?
Well,
tell me-
Domino, you're invited, friends. Like, come on down to the tournament.
Okay, so this person, though, that I'm assuming that all of you, when you hear 6 corn dogs in a minute and eating them that way, I'd be afraid of splinters, is what I'd be
No,
afraid
they ripped
of.
it. He rips out. Look, people are gonna say that's silly. He's not gonna eat the stick, obviously. But like, I think the same thing with pinchos, right? So like, you take a pincho, and a pincho is basically a shish kebab, and I try to eat the shish kebab by taking out the stick, and then I eat the pieces of meat individually, right? Now, those shish kebab sticks can splinter. A corn dog stick, I don't think so, because it's a corn dog stick, to my knowledge, is like a popsicle stick.
Domino. Hey, you're live on the air. Do you want to come
Hey,
to the
Kyle.
Domino tournament?
Okay, there it is.
Domino.
It's a
All right,
deal.
Domino's
Domino has
in.
been confirmed for
He's
the
there
April.
for the murder of the NFL legend. Hi, Domino. Good to see you again. Que hola. La lucha. Yeah. Okay. Bye, Domino. Have a good day.
All right, excellent
So that
work.
was Domino.
He
He was
looks
on the
like
show
the
today.
Iron Sheik from over here. Can you please?
He's basically Tony. Or what Tony wants to be is Domino in every sense of the word.
So
cool, jacked,
Tell me
good
more,
at wrestling.
Tell me more about the corn dog tournament. What were the highlights? What was the competition?
There was no highlights. It lasted a minute. The guy just stuck 6 corn dogs in his mouth in a minute and swallowed. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then he had like a little. So we see the Nathan's famous hot dog contest on the 4th of July, and they have to do the buns, and like there's the whole like we do the things. Nah, it's gonna be a gift now. Yeah, that's not gonna go well for me. So they do that. Right? And now they're going to do the thing with the corn dogs. And the corn dog is basically the same thing. Internet, be nice to me,
I've
please.
never, ever in my life thought, you know what would be great? Eating multiple corn dogs in one sitting.
It's really a talent that you wonder how you learn you have, right?
Pop a gummy at Okeechobee Fest, you'll have 6 of those
Half
bad
of
boys.
one is fine.
Jalapeno corn dogs.
I'm with Jessica on this. You can't have more than one corn dog. It has to be one corn dog. It can't even be 2 corn dogs. It has to be one.
Oh man, that's gross.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Can you have more than one corn dog?
I was trying to think of the last time I've eaten a corn dog. It's been decades.
Greg, you would have liked this because the guy that was announcing the contest actually made this comment, and some of us were wondering because there was, I think, 4 competitors in the contest. And, you know, the professional eater was doing it very quickly. Obviously, he had 6 corn dogs in one eating. And I think all of the people that participated got, like, you know, for participating, they won, like, passes to the fair or something, right? One of the guys was just eating a corn dog. Like, he went there, and they're like, did you just want, like, a free lunch? Because he was just eating a corn dog very leisurely, and then he got to take the rest of them home.
Wow, what a great play by him. Heady play, as the saying goes.
That's right.
Good for him.
Gordo Howe.
So mean.
Mina, is this season worth watching of Love is Blind? I've seen articles that said it's the most boring season yet.
I think it is kind of boring for a stretch and then really heats up at the end.
Ooh, yeah? Okay.
That's how I would say, yeah. Which is always a hard sell for people. Like when you're recommending a TV show and you're like, the first few episodes suck or season 1 is bad. It's always...
Is it all
You can
out
always
yet?
skip the pods. The pods, like, it's so
a lot of
boring.
pods. A lot of pods this season, yeah.
I like pods. I like honeymoon. I hate when they go to the apartments because that's when life gets real, and that's when I don't want to see.
The best episodes always, though, are when everybody meets each other around like 9 or 10. Like all the people who were rejected or didn't make it to the tropical location.
Yeah, so like when Jessica...
They have the big meetup, yeah.
Jessica surprised him at the lake party like a couple years ago, and then the guy, I don't even remember his name, was like, oh, what did I do here?
What city is it this season, Mina?
It's Minneapolis, and that's the other thing I found interesting. It's like very, very Minnesota.
What are you reviewing these days? Like, what are you recommending to people? What are the shows that are best? Have you seen Paradise on Hulu? I have just started that. The first episode makes the premise great.
I haven't started that. That has been recommended to me. Weirdly, my husband decided that this moment in history was a great time to start The Man in the High Castle. Which is... Do you know what the premise of that is, Dan?
I do not.
It's based on, I believe, a Philip K. Dick novel or short story collection or something. And it's basically what would happen if America lost World War II and the Nazis won.
Yeah, that's not great.
What would
timing.
happen? That
Yeah,
would
not
be
great
weird.
timing. Yeah, not excellent.
It's 4 seasons and we're on season 3 and it's kind of tailing off. But so I guess I would season 1 and 2 I thought were quite good. Season 1's really good.
Your recommendations have always been good. What else do you have for us these days? Because you like Slow Horses was something you were recommending. Obviously, the Leftovers is something that is one of your favorite shows. One of mine too. What else are you giving us though these days?
This is a little old, but if you haven't watched it, Dan, I think you and Valerie would like Black Doves on Netflix. Did you watch that?
I have not. Mm-mm.
Oh, it's really good. It's Keira Knightley. Ben Whishaw is one of my favorite actors. He plays Paddington. It's just a 6-episode limited series. It's about like spies and double crossing. It's weirdly kind of a Christmas show. It takes place in London during Christmas, but it's really, really, really entertaining.
You've got a bit of a spy weakness here. Do you have any 007 opinions? Mike Ryan earlier in the show was arguing that Michael Strahan cannot be 007.
I had an idea, a pitch for 007 from years ago. Maybe it doesn't really apply right now, but the idea derived from one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Edge of Tomorrow. Have you guys seen that with Tom
Live,
Cruise
Die,
and Emily
Repeat.
Blunt?
Yes,
One of the best movies ever made.
You're
I
talking
think.
Mike Ryan's language here whenever you bring up anything Tom Cruise related.
So he's great in it, but Emily Blunt is fantastic as like the badass super soldier. And I thought after I watched that she should be 007. She's British too.
That's a great idea right there. Also, the entire internet would set fire to your every thought.
Spoiler alert, it was actually done in the last film. There was a woman that was 007 and assumed that role for a while.
If you think there's controversy about making 007 black, go ahead and make 007 forever a woman.
Dan, they did it with a black woman. Mina, Sam Darnold appears to be testing the market. The Vikings are doing what many would say is a smart thing. Usually when someone has that kind of season, the franchise is like, this is too good to let go. But they have their succession plan in J.J. McCarthy. They also brought in Daniel Jones. What do you think about this move?
From their perspective, you mean? I think it makes sense. I think the only question I had as to whether or not they would stick with Darnold was if they had any concerns internally about J.J. McCarthy, his health coming back from, pretty brutal injury, what they're seeing internally. I had some conversations in Indianapolis that led me to believe they're pretty confident about him. They feel good about. Is there music? Is the music play? Are you playing the fast music?
Yeah, go faster.
All right, whatever. No, I'm not gonna go faster. This has already been.
You've got to respect the music. What
No,
do you mean?
Stand strong, Mina. Do not respect the music.
I don't respect the music.
They always try to make me talk faster too.
I was thinking about this at the Oscars when like the costume people are up and they start playing the music and like what it takes, the mental fortitude it takes to just continue like blazing past it. And I thought I'd be pretty good at that because I do it on this show all the time. So I am not surprised because I think they drafted McCarthy where they did for a reason. They like him. I also think that, the benefit of having the quarterback on that sort of rookie contract is you have all this freed up money to spend on things they need to spend on, like the interior offensive line. It doesn't make sense to me to have, it would be more than $40 million. I think Sam Darnold's probably going to get at least 2 years guaranteed of over $60 million. So I'm not surprised the Vikings didn't. I think it was the right move.
Your thoughts on Greg Cody saying the scouting combine is unnecessary?
It depends for whom, I guess. Unnecessary for viewers? That's a question, but he's
teams, saying for the teams, for the scout. He's saying for the scouts, for the evaluators, unnecessary.
Mina, the example I gave was Cam Ward declining to throw and explaining that y'all have 5 years of tape on me. That
Right.
should be sufficient to know about me. Is he wrong?
So what's not wrong about throwing? I think that it's very debatable whether or not the top prospects have to actually do that kind of thing. But the reason they're there is for the meetings and the medicals, Greg. So the teams all in one place get a chance to meet the guy that they're going to invest in their entire future in, and also the medicals. This was actually the original purposes of the combine, was really the medicals, and that's why it happens every year and will continue to happen.
What's going to happen with Myles Garrett? What's his real power here?
It all depends on whether or not he's willing to hold out, because the sense that I got from being there, and that's why we're there, by the way, is just to gossip essentially for a week. The Browns have no intention or interest in moving on from him. So this could get really ugly if he is actually willing to hold out, and that is an open question.
It's also pretty impossible to move him, isn't it?
It would cost them a lot, but if it was for actual like freight of draft picks, which I haven't heard any packages being thrown out, they should do it because they're a rebuilding team. They should at least consider it, pardon me, if it's like a lot. But I haven't heard any rumors that any team is willing. I just think other teams don't find it to be that believable at the moment.
But if I would, Mina, can you please tell me, given that he's their only star, given that it's locked up with Deshaun Watson, given that he's going to be wasting the next few years here, if you allow me the hypothetical of it's not about the money, there's no amount of money that keeps him there, how messy does that actually end up getting?
Again, as with all these guys, it's all about his willingness to make it messy, Dan. And like, it's easier said than done. I mean, one of my first stories at ESPN the magazine was at Darrelle Revis, who was the king of mess, right? And I came away from that, and of course, one of the greatest moneymakers this league has ever seen, and a guy who literally won, right, every time. And I came away from that story believing the reason he was capable of that wasn't his ability, but his absolute, like the steel he had in his personality, not caring about the influence of media, fans, family members, teammates. Darrelle Revis truly did not care. And I think for Myles Garrett, it's going to come down to whether or not he has that same sort of personality, which he might, by the way.
Are we Team Schultz or Team Rap Sheet?
Schultz has to be. Oh no, I blocked him. Ooh, people are going to make a thing about this. I should have said that.
Uh-oh. And now we're here. Okay, but that really okay, so that would influence your opinion here, right?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit biased. My favorite part of that encounter was Jeremy Fowler, who I work with, just trying to disassociate in the background of the photo. I don't know if you guys noticed that. He looked like that Marco Rubio in the couch, just
Homer Simpson into the bushes.
So we're Team Fowler then. Okay.
It sounds like
yeah,
it.
Team Fowler. Yeah.
Yes. Can you explain to us the Giants and Aaron Rodgers?
Desperation on both sides.
Pittsburgh is going to do what at quarterback?
I think they're going to roll with Wilson or Fields again. I was surprised. I mean, it ultimately didn't matter, and maybe this is why it shouldn't have been surprising that they weren't more aggressive about Matthew Stafford the way the Giants were, and the Giants absolutely were. Like, they really wanted to take a shot at that, because I feel like the only path that the Steelers have to actually getting over the hump last year would have been to take an aggressive swing at Stafford. But, it obviously is debatable whether or not that possibility even existed.
Mina, as a respected journalist, do you think that Le Batard has abdicated all claim to journalism integrity by sacrificing his integrity banging a drum in cheerleading at a Florida Panthers game?
I saw that. He looked like he enjoyed it a lot. First, I'll say that, which I was surprised to see the level of enthusiasm you had to bang that drum. No, I think it's okay. It's okay. I've thought about this, Stan, because I've never been asked this. The Seahawks have this thing called like raising the 12th man flag, and I have wondered, like, would I do that? I think I wouldn't. But my job is different from yours. I'm football specific. I just feel like the Homer allegations would be too intense for me. I think you're fine. You're not a hockey reporter.
Integrity. That's what integrity sounds like, Dan.
What happened to Orlovsky?
Wait, is that the sound?
Yeah, that was one of the sounds I made. It's also wildebeest mating in a small bathroom.
I was just about to say, I do not want to think about the other context in which Dan makes that sound.
It's exactly that context. I think you just made Jessica gag on food. I think Jessica's been eating a sandwich here, like, aggressively.
It's a
Play the
big
sound
sandwich.
again and focus on Jessica's face. Jessica, think about this.
Jessica's been aggressive sandwich eating. That's wrong what you're doing, Mina. Orlovsky, he did a very tearful, emotional goodbye to NFL Live and then popped up 2 weeks later on First Take. What's the story with him?
I was on NFL Live with him yesterday.
But he said, I'm not going to be seeing you guys for a long time. People don't know what happens in the future. And it seemed like he was saying goodbye and his contract was up. And then he was back a couple weeks later.
He was in Hawaii.
All right, so
he went to Disneyland, too. He had the misfortune of going to Disneyland on the one day in Los Angeles it rained.
So. What are the Raiders going to do?
I think it's an interesting one because I do think that it might take some movement on their part with the quarterbacks. I do think I know there's going to be interest in a rookie. To me, they seem like the Sam Darnold destination. So if I had to make a prediction now, I could be wrong. I would say Sam Darnold plus a rookie who's not one of the top two guys.
Number one pick, Abdul Carter, allegedly going to be participating in the pro day, maybe even running. There's rumors that he runs a 4.3. There was some momentum taken away from him because of the injury, surgery not recommended. What are you hearing a few days removed from the combine?
The Titans' dream, how they would love for this is to play out, is that one of the Giants or the Browns panics and tries to get to 1-1 to take Cam Ward. Everybody I've talked to a man, has agreed Cam Ward is QB1 in this draft. There's several teams that are interested in him. So for the Titans, the way I view this draft, and I think most people do, there's two truly, truly elite players, Abdul Carter, the pass rusher, and Travis Hunter. If they can just stay in the top three while maneuvering down and grabbing picks, they can still get one of those two players. And I don't think you can go wrong with either of those players.
Mina, always good seeing you. Take care.
So upsetting.
long, long time ago, Dan was a prodigy, and his writing used to make him smile. And he knew if he had his chance, he'd rat out for bogus Pell Grants and maybe learn from Cody for a while. But network money made him sell his soul. Now he shows all his bias to the Heat and now the Panthers. Dan's fake news, oh, have you heard? I can't remember if he cried when he told us with his face so wide that all his morals were a lie. The day journalism died. So Dan was saying, oh my, how I'd love to eat pie. Oh, but if it has some gluten, then I think I may die. I'll shoot my integrity straight into the sky, banging Panthers drums as a Cuban-born guy. Panthers drums as a Cuban-born guy.
I don't even know what that means, Cuban-born guy. I wasn't born in Cuba.
That was the description of you originally for the Panthers game yesterday. It was Cuban-born Dan Le Batard.
That's what they did, but I don't even know what that means.
It also had to rhyme with pie.
Yeah.
I told them to put in alleged journalist and not Cuban-born. They left in the Cuban-born and didn't put in alleged journalist.
My God, new movie idea. Cuban-born. But Jason Bourne, but Cuban.
Like yes.
Wow,
Good
new Tony
idea.
character is right, Jess.
Whatever happened to Cuban Pilot?
Well, you know.
All right, good yes and Billy. Good thinking on your feet there.
I don't want to get into the airline industry, but
Juju,
executive order.
We will get to the polls in a second with Juju, and we will get to a couple of other subjects. But Mike, hurry through, please. Your final Mount Rushmore of the day. This has been too much today from you on Mount Rushmores.
Top 5 moments in South Florida sports history where you had to cover your children's eyes.
Wow, that's a Mount Gregmore. 5 instead of 4.
OLI, Dan Speedo. Second list. Congratulations. Number 4, the 2014 Miami Beach Bowl between Memphis and BYU. Now, I've long maintained America is racist, but this might be the biggest example. Certainly the most recent, 2014. Can't think of anything more recent. Do you remember what happened at the 2014 Miami Beach Bowl between BYU and Memphis?
I do not.
Double OT thriller, and then an all-out brawl, the likes of which you haven't seen at Marlins Park. Yeah. Ever. It was crazy. Crazy violent. Puka Nakua's brother was involved. It was a disaster. No one was talking about it because it happened at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday.
It was like one of those. Was it in the Bahamas? Or
No, it was at
here?
the Miami Beach Bowl, but it was at Marlins Park.
Now defunct.
Okay. Did it become the Bahamas Bowl? All right, so what's number 3?
Number 3, the Miami FIU fight at the Orange Bowl. Wow. Where Ned came out in crutches. It was an ugly scene.
No, it was awesome.
It was an awesome scene. It was a great scene.
The best moment ever.
Lamar Thomas was screaming, "We ready." Number 2, the 1997 Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks, Game 5. And number 1, the Copa America Final of 2024.
Wow, number 1 already.
Wow, he's so right about that.
Number 1 already.
Never scanned my ticket.
Juju, do you have any nominations on any of the Mount Rushmores that have been submitted today?
Yes, the Kenyon Drake touchdown where Gronk's screws fell out trying to tackle him at the buzzer.
That's a single play. That's a pretty good play. To beat, it's because of who you're doing it to, right? If it's great under any circumstances, but Belichick and Gronk as the last line of defense where you get to laugh at the end because he's clumsy like that. You don't get better punctuation than that on anything. What other thoughts from today's show? Did you have any thoughts on Mike Ryan being racist about Michael Strahan not being able to play the next Bond?
I think we cleared that up. I think Carl was the racist one, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you, Juju.
You feel me? And I agree, brother. Like, can you imagine Michael Strahan in downtown Beirut trying to be inconspicuous? Like, I don't think so. I think through the grace of God, you were a TV host, and through the grace of Tiki Barber, you are a TV host.
Okay, very good. That's true, actually. Then I wonder how many people actually know that Tiki Barber goes to bed at night furious that Michael Strahan took all his jobs. Like, that was all supposed to go to Tiki Barber. What else do you have for us here today? Kyrie Irving, the Dallas Mavericks, man. Like, that is you are in
I feel
mourning.
so bad for Nico.
Look, you're in mourning right now. You love sports and you try and spread positivity. Why are you wearing the Irving gear?
Exactly. I'm here for accountability. I got up here last week and said Nico will be right. The Mavericks will win. What the hell was I thinking, dog? I have never been more wrong, and I just want to raise my hand and say, out of bounds on me, coach. Man, get well soon, Kyrie Irving, but it has been terrible, all downhill since that trade for Dallas, man. I want to keep hope alive for him, but it's getting very hard to, man. Out for the season, Kyrie Irving. Get well soon.
How do you like the timing of Dallas announcing a raise in ticket prices?
Chef's kiss. The bow on top of this trash ass season, man. Just salute to them and the Cowboys. But speaking of chef kisses, and on a positive note, the season finale of Paradise came out yesterday. Holy moly. I will not spoil it, but chef's kiss.
Juju, I'm starting tonight. I'm starting it tonight.
No, the first episode, once they set you with the premise and you see where all of that is headed, like if it keeps escalating from the first episode, I could see what you and Amin are talking about. Like, and I'm guessing it does, right? I've heard some people say that episode 7 of Paradise is like episode 7 of The Bear, like some of the best television you've ever seen.
Absolutely, man. I'm talking about pins and needles the entire time. And the finale last night, we stayed up till like the midnight release just to watch it because I couldn't deal with the spoilers online. Man, great. And they got renewed for another season, I heard, man. Hats off to that whole show. If you're involved with that, I salute you for sure. I heard Mina also talking about this season of Love is Blind, like it picks up. I love my sister, Mina. That thing does not pick up. I mean, the whole season of Love is Blind is as boring as watching paint dry. Everybody's too even keel. Everybody's too responsible. We don't have any drama, no scandals. There's only one guy who's kind of a douche because he doesn't want to tell the girl that he's with that he doesn't like her because she messed with his friend previously. He has no balls, but that's boring as well. It's like the prenup was an episode. It's like, oh, do not watch this season if you love Love is
Billy,
Blind.
do you have any defense of this?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I need infidelity. Like, I need cheating. I need some sloppiness. I need them going to the honeymoon suite and then looking at the other ones that they could have been with. Like, okay, like here we go. This is what I could have had. Like, all right, I like Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy. Like, that's what you need. Not like, okay, we love each other. Who cares? I don't want to watch that show for love.
Everyone's
watch
too
it for
self-aware
lust.
now. They know that they don't want to be the villain of that season.
You have to be. Can I tell you guys something? As a connoisseur of reality television,
are you talking to us or the contestants?
Everyone listening, America as a whole, you need to be a villain, or you're not invited back on the shows for any other seasons. Like, if you're not on The Bachelor cheating on The Bachelorette, you're not going to be part of Bachelor in Paradise ever and be part of the Bachelor universe ever. You're not going to be on The Traitors. You're not going to be on The GOAT. You're not going to be on any of these spin-off shows. It pays to be a piece of shit on television. Like, that's how you come back year after year after year, is you act horribly, absolutely terribly to everyone around you, and everyone wants a villain, so they always keep casting all of the really bad garbage people. If you're like an upstanding citizen, you're never going to work in reality television ever again.
Well, I think America took your note.
Good. Entertaining
Preach,
television
Billy.
to come. Thank you, Juju. Juju gets it.
Yes, sir. I get it. I also get what Greg Cody was saying earlier. Fantastic English accent, British accent, Greg Cody. You're my
Thank
big
you.
brother.
Thank you.
I could see you playing a James Bond-like character.
I really
almost
appreciate
Austin
that.
Powers-ish.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I do.
I can see it.
I do.
You know who Greg could be? Greg, you could be like Alfred for Batman, probably.
Mm.
I like that.
I love it.
Bond.
You know who could be a good
James
James Bond?
Who? Me?
James McAvoy. He played in like a Split, and he played like the dog or the deer in whatever the movie was, Narnia. I think he would be a good person. And Barry Keoghan would be a good villain from Saltburn. He would be a great villain. Make one of his eyes a different color. James Bond, holler at us. We got you.
Dad, do you even know who Alfred is in relation to Batman?
No idea. What is he? Batman's dad?
His butler.
Alfred Bond?
I've got bad news about his dad.
Juju, are we going to update the polls? Do you have any good thoughts on anything drum banging related?
Brother, you did such a great job, man. I feel like it's all about the energy you bring. I think you brought the energy. You met the moment. Salute to Ron McGill's son. Great cinematography. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, man. To the people who saying you went too fast or too slow, look at here. Like he brought the energy. What do you want him to do? Turn into Sheila E. whenever the beat comes? Like he is who he is. Like we can't expect that. And for the journalist that's saying journalism is dead, you know what I smell in the air? Jealousy, because you asked them to bang the drum, they will be banging that drum instantly. And salute to my sister, Mina Kimes. I love you. You are my sister. But I remember you throwing out the first pitch for the Seattle Mariners. That's very beat the drum bangish, if you ask me. Wow. Neither here nor there.
Good callback.
Edge of your seat, huh? During that video?
Yeah. Edge of my seat, for sure.
You really called him on that one,
The
Chris.
big twist at the end got you, huh?
he was leaning up in his chair. How does this end? Let's update some of the polls here at Le Batard Show.
Did everyone look like Mike Ditka in the 90s? 79% of the audience says yes, they did.
That's a funny question.
Should Adrian Brody ever work in this town again? 73% of the audience says no, he should not. And take your stinking speech with you. Better name for your last reliever, Bob Save or Al Closer?
On Al.
77% of the audience went Al Closer.
Of course, it's the obvious choice.
Yes, sir. Will Willow eat Jessica if Jessica died near her?
I think I would want her to. I don't want her to die too.
Right. 89% of the audience said yes, Willow will.
Wow.
She knows what to do with it.
But maybe she would. I don't know. It makes me sad to think about. I think if it were between me and Lehman, she'd eat me first, for sure.
She respects him more, right?
There's just more meat on my bones.
In the last poll, can you have more than one corn dog? 65% of the audience says yes, you can. Those are the polls.
Thank you, Juju. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.